Hello, welcome everyone to a Wednesday night chat with Nick. Today I will have Anthony as a guest. Reaper Tate is his YouTube channel. I will see if I can put a link to his channel as I'm waiting for him to log in. But happy Wednesday. What did everybody think of the Super Bowl? It was boring unless you are a Denver fan. Okay, I was hoping for a good game, but even for a close game for the first three quarter, it was kind of boring because there was no, outside of the big sacks and fumble in the first, few minutes of the game. I felt the next three quarter was uneventful, and I stopped watching when the score was 22. When Denver scored in the early fourth quarter, I said it was done. Okay, let me make sure I have everything set up correctly so that. Oh, Anthony is here.
Hey, how are you?
Good, good. Welcome, everybody. As I'm talking, I'm trying to add your channel into the link,
Okay.
so that people can. So, how you doing?
I'm doing well. It's been a while since last we chatted.
I know you were on the
I think
first chat or second chat.
I think it was the second, or it might have been the first. I'm back in August.
I think it was either the first or second. You were one of the early one, and then we haven't had a chance to chat again. But as I mentioned, if you ever want to chat on your own channel, either privately or in public, just send me an invite. A lot of people do that. I get invite all the time from all kind of people on YouTube to join, but usually it's weird time of day, and I can't jump in. But if I can jump in to chat, I will do it.
Great. Yeah, that's awesome. That's great, man.
It's fun. I mean, I like to talk. I mean, I think that's the best part about YouTube. Is for me these days is it's a collector that don't buy a lot. I enjoy talking to other collectors.
Right.
Otherwise, it's me and my few books. I barely. You bought a lot of stuff. You still.
Go on.
You still in the accumulating stage.
Yes. I still am. But you still have a lot of stuff, though, right? With your collection videos, first appearance videos, you seem to have a really good collection.
Yeah, I still have probably. I don't really keep count, to be honest. But I think I have between 3,000 and 3,200 books.
Yeah, that's quite a few.
Yeah, I mean, at the peak, I was over 13,000.
So, but what made you downsize? Was it just the downsize, or lost a little bit of the interest in collecting?
I'm actually, I'm almost finished here.
Oh.
Let me do this, and then I'm trying to make sure I in the right place so that I can see anyone that's comment.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Mike Smith is here.
Oh, okay. Hey.
Yes, Mike Smith. Bummer for you, Mike. I was, as a fan of, Cam Newton. I feel bad for him. I mean, he got some flack for not behaving better after the game. I'm a sore loser, so that's why I don't play sport. That's my excuse for not playing sport.
Yeah, I never played sports because I was never good at them. So that's one that's.
Yeah. Well, back to your question, Anthony. I left the hobby for quite a few years between 2003 and 2008. There was a 5-year gap where I did not even look at my books, did not even look at eBay, did not buy anything.
Right.
Those years was busy getting married, having kids. But that was a main reason. I moved from Boston to Florida. I get married in 2005. had my son in 2007, and then in 2008, then I kind of drift back into checking out Comic Link, you know, submitting some books to CGC kind of thing. But then I realized quickly after that I have way too much stuff. You know, it's not that I didn't like comic books. It's just that up until that point, I bought a lot between 2000 and 2003. At the birth of eBay, 1999 to 2003, I bought thousands. I mean, if YouTube existed, I would have unboxing daily. I went crazy. I literally went crazy.
But that provided like a whole new way to get books. You know, previously I started collecting in the early 90s. You know, you would go to cons and all that stuff or go to stores. But when eBay opened up and you could get the books that you wanted in certain conditions, that must have been paradise.
It was paradise, and I bought quite a few collections. I mean, from one collector, I bought something like almost 5,000 books.
Wow, yeah.
And then, you know, like I said, that alone account for, you know, a big part of the 13,000 books. So I bought 5,000 from one guy. And then, you know, I bought a couple hundred from somebody else, and every day on eBay, I was going crazy. You know, I was single, making like a lot of money.
Right.
And it was a candy store, you know. I mean, like I said, if I was on YouTube, if YouTube existed back then, it would be daily unboxing. and
I'm sure it would have been awesome too to see, to watch. You know,
it was fun, and the price was not crazy. You know, the price. I mean, I bought a lot. If you watch enough of my videos, you know, I got a lot of high grade stuff for fairly inexpensive.
Right.
You know, and back then, eBay was a wild west. You know, people don't really know, you know, the value. Grading was, you know, if you know how to grade, if you know how to look at books, you can buy a lot of undergraded books back then. Because people would throw books out there, say, "Oh, this is very fine," and they're all like near mint plus. You know, you're like, "Very fine? I'm buying that sucker for $5 any day." So I bought a lot of books that was in the very fine range that are at least near mint to near mint plus for dirt cheap. So it was a good day, you know, good time. But once I get back into the hobby in 2008, 2009, you know, when I was single, it doesn't matter if my room looked like a mess. But then when, you know, I get married and buy a house and move into a house, I'm just like, I just don't want to have so many boxes.
Yeah.
And many of the stuff I bought and put in a box and never see again. You know, so I decided in late 2009 that I will start selling because I wanted some big keys. And I'm just like, you know, I'd rather sell the stuff that I don't need or want, things that I would never look at. And then when a key that I want show up, like a Detective 31, I would be in a financial position to buy it without saying, gee, you know, I don't have the cash right now and I had to save up and this and that. And so I decided that it's better to sell off like 9,000-10,000 books that I don't need
to get the one you want.
And get the one I want. So it was, in hindsight, that was a right move because on the few occasions where the book that I want show up, I was in a financial position to buy it without saying, gee, I can't bid anymore because I don't have money. So yeah, I mean, so that's how I get like the Detective 31.
Would you say that's one of your treasures in your collection, the Detective 31? Like,
yeah, absolutely. It might not be the most valuable book in my collection, but I would say it is the number 2 book in my collection. Because it is such a tough book to get.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, I you know, at the time I have, you know, X-Men 1 9.0, and sure, that book worth 3-4 times more than Detective 31. But at the same time, you can find an X-Men 1 any day on eBay.
That's true.
you'll be lucky to see a Detective 31 twice a year on any big auction. So
Right.
for me, I'm just like, that's why it's special, because it is so hard, so rare to see. Sure, you might see it 3 or 4 times a year, but even then, I'm just like, just look at the Comic Link. They might have 3 copies of Amazing Fantasy per month on an auction.
That's true. I mean, a lot of those, like the Silver Age Marvels, although very valuable, you see more of them on eBay. You'll see more of them on Comic Connect and Metropolis, and especially at conventions than you would see a Detective 31 or any of those early detectives like 38, 40,
Yeah.
and so forth.
It come down to, and sadly, for the most part, the demand, even though it's good demand, it's not a strong demand, say like Amazing Fantasy 15, because there's a lot of younger collector that would rather own Amazing Fantasy 15 than buying any early detective books. So it's also that too, because detective comics, Silver Age, Golden Age DC, for the most part, are fairly cheap.
Okay.
Because most of them are low grades anyway. You're not going to find that many detective Golden Age books that are high grades. So and so maybe some people are higher grade snob and don't want to buy Golden Age book that are all beat up. I'm okay with that.
Oh yeah, me too.
I have issue. Welcome. Speaking of big auction, this book came in yesterday.
Oh,
this is a heritage catalog for next week, the big auction next week. Okay. If you bid on heritage auction enough time, every 3 months you get this very thick, beautifully put together catalog, and usually they have a cool covers. Usually they put like a big book like Batman 1 or Superman 1, but they put this. This is one of the weakest cover I have ever seen. But look at what is the key book for next week auction, which I will recap. I will do a recap next Thursday.
Amazing Fantasy 15. 9. Wow, near mint.
Talking about freak of nature.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. That book is, one of the most sought out books out there. I mean, who wouldn't want the first appearance of Spider-Man? Except maybe that one.
I think you'd rather have this one.
Yes, absolutely. That is awesome.
So Batman 2.0. There's even an All-Star 8 1.0.
That's another one that's crazy going up.
Yeah. You know that there is a YouTube channel, a YouTube person here that have Wonder Woman from 1 to like 100.
Which channel is that?
Comic Book Ninja. Look it up. He has put out 4 videos so far to show like issue 1 to 62.
Wow.
Yeah, check it out. It's eye candy, Golden Age, Wonder Woman goodness.
Are they what grade range does he have? I mean, any grade would be great, but
yeah, I think his Wonder Woman 1 is like a 4.0.
Yeah, that's good. But
good. They're all. I think there's some like 8.0, but I think for the most part, his books are in the 5 to 6 range.
Okay, not bad.
Okay, and I have issues as you were watching this. Look at that. Even Captain America 1.
Wow. I've only seen that at New York Con.
So this auction is going to be crazy, okay? And look at that. Even have Detective Comics, the earlier one.
Which one is? Oh, okay, the before Batman.
The pre-Batman Detective. Yeah. See, there's a whole bunch, but like I said, this catalog, unfortunately for those that never win or bid or consign to Heritage, they don't send it to you.
I've won a couple of things off them, but not enough to get one of those sent to me. Though.
And the Grand Booba.
Detective Comics. That would be often when I'm asked, what would you rather have, Action 1 or Detective 27? I always say Detective 27 without thinking, because I think I've always thought that Batman was a way better character than Superman. I mean,
Mike Smith said he's still looking for the All-Star Comic 12. He was looking at an All-Star Comic 12 that was having a missing piece.
a missing piece.
Yeah, and I told him not to buy it. You know, to me, I don't mind missing piece, but I do mind a missing piece where it impacts the story.
Like maybe the centerfold missing, or a page.
Well, you know, if you have a book, right, where the back cover is missing like a big chunk, like the corner piece, it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
But if you have if any pages is missing like half a page or a quarter page where a panel is missing, it bothers me.
Right. It doesn't seem to make sense. But I'm glad you brought that up, though, because I wanted to ask you what do you feel? How do you feel about restoration? I mean, I know there are different levels. You know,
when it comes down to Golden Age book, major key like Detective 27, Action 1, I am okay with that.
Right.
Even my Detective 31 is restored.
Oh, okay.
So I am okay with that. You know, I'm not sure. You know, there's a lot of people that go crazy and they have to buy unrestored stuff. And to me, hey, I bought my Detective 31 for a very reasonable price. And these days, you can't even buy a copy, unrestored copy, even if it's like a 1.5 for less than 15,000.
Yeah, I know. I mean, even 0.5, they're ridiculously expensive.
Exactly. So I'm just like, I didn't pay anywhere near 10,000. I didn't pay any, so I'm just like, I don't care if mine is restored. I pay a lot less than people that's paying 4-5 figures these days. So it's, to me, it's, you know, for some book that is so rare, like Detective 31, you take what you can get.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean,
well, I have issues say that Detective 27 is his holy grail. And look at this. Speaking of pre-Robin Detective, look at that.
Detective 31, Detective 33. We got, oh yeah.
All of them.
Beautiful.
All of them. Even 29, which is a very tough one. The green, this one. 29 is really tough to find. It does not.
Is there a specific reason other than it's just an older Golden Age book, or?
I don't know. It's much rarer. I think 29, no, 28, I mean. 28 is often even more rare than 31.
Oh, wow.
I could be wrong, but look at that. One of my favorite.
Oh, with the hypodermic needle. Yeah, that's an awesome.
In fact, this is my favorite. I like 31 for the iconic, but if I had to pick my favorite, this one might beat out 31 because it's just a cool green.
Yeah. Yeah, that is great.
2.0. Like I said, this auction have everything. I have issues say, can I see your copy of Detective 31? I don't have it anywhere near me. In fact, all of my valuable stuff is in a vault.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't keep that stuff at home. Sadly, well, not sadly, but you just can't take that kind of risk leaving stuff like that in the house. But I have issues. If you want to see that copy, just search on YouTube, ETA Nick, what is rare?
What is rare?
That's my very first what is rare video. I did like maybe a dozen what is rare video.
Okay.
But it's the very first what is rare in my collection. So search it up, it will jump right out. it probably had the most view out of any video I have as far as Golden Age comic books is concerned.
The thing is, Detective 31, was that always, I mean, you know, you've been collecting a while, was that always one of those books that everyone was just trying to get their hands on? Because I know a lot of books as of last 10 years started really going up in price, like Tales of Suspense 39. I'm not comparing the two, but years ago, you could get like a 4.0 for, you know, a decent price. Now a 4.0 of Tales of Suspense 39 or Journey into Mystery 83 are just getting farther and farther out of reach.
Yeah, is it like about $4 grand, $3 grand?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it used to be about 800.
Yeah, exactly.
Back pre Iron Man 1 movie, you can pick up a copy, a very good copy of 4.0 for under $1,000. You know, I mean, and after the movie, it become 3,000. Well, ever since, and now I think a 4.0 go for 3,000 to 3,500 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it just keeps going up. But like, was Detective 31? Did it have a point where all these older detectives, like 31?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Detective 31 has always been highly sought after
Because of the cover, right?
because of the cover, and even in the 70s, it was highly regarded. You know, that's why Neil
Yeah.
Adams did the cover swipe. You know, because everybody know how cool that Batman covers was. So it has always been. You know, a lot of people say, you know, oh, because of CGC culture, covers, cover focus.
Mhm.
So Detective 31 become more popular, but that's not true. You know, it was popular and highly sought after even before the birth of CGC in 1999. So, you know, yeah, sure, CGC had created a frenzy of cover only kind of collecting, but Detective 31 has always been highly sought after, much more so than any Golden Age books outside of Batman 1, perhaps Superman 1, Action 1, Detective 27. There's a handful. This might be a dozen Golden Age books that would be in the same kind of level as Tech 31. Like, you know, even Marvel, the first Marvel book.
Yeah, Marvel Comics.
Yeah, that book has fallen off the top 10, in my opinion, but for a long time, that book was really, really highly sought after.
Yeah, I remember in the 1980s, early 80s, from what I read, that was one of the most valuable books to get.
Yep. I have issues said that magazine is making me mad because those are comics I want. You are not alone. I have issues. Cody. His name is Cody.
Okay.
But there's even, like I said, this book is insane. Well, this auction next Thursday and Friday is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 3 days. And there's, like I said, there's a Detective 27. There's also a Superman 1.
Mm-hmm.
And look at this. Hell Suspense 9.2.
Yes.
Nothing is rare. The only thing that's rare in this book is money.
It's definitely targeted for the the big money collectors. You know, I mean, but
and then original arts, it's insane. You know, like I said, it's an awesome magazine. I mean, I have been blessed that I bought enough from Heritage since 2009 to be on the mailing list. So I have 4 of these big catalog every year for the past 6 years.
okay.
I have a stack of them, and it's kind of fun to go through them once in a while because it's just beautiful pictures. You know,
Right.
I don't own many of these books, but just looking at them, you're just like, wow, beautiful. So, have you bought anything lately?
Yes, I'm currently. You know, funny we're talking about Detective Comics and all that stuff. I'm currently working on trying to work on Batman hauls. I'm really trying to finish as much as I can with my Batman collection. I mean, obviously, I can't get the 27. I can't get Batman #1, 38, 31. You know, but there are some that I'm actively pursuing.
Are you pursuing Detective 38?
No. That's on my never to get list.
How about now? If you want affordable pre-Robin detective books, keep your eyes out for Detective 37.
37. Okay, that's the second Hugo Strange.
Yeah, it's the last issue before Batman 1 and Detective 38 come out. So it's one of those, you know, pre-Robin detective books that are fairly inexpensive.
Mm-hmm. I will. I'll keep a lookout for it.
You know, I don't have a copy, but I keep telling myself, well, why don't you own one? Because it costs 10% of what a Detective 31 is, you know, and it's only the 10th appearance of Batman ever.
So it's definitely worth getting.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a 4.0 for like $4,000, So I'm just like, would you rather own that than a Tale of Suspense 39?
I'm also like a lot of those earlier Batman books, like when we were talking about covers, like Batman number 12, for instance.
Yeah.
That for me is something that's in my book something highly sought out.
Uh-huh.
I think that cover is just fantastic. I mean, some of those covers really.
Batman 12. I'm trying to remember. Let me guess. Batman. I know what 11 is because I have it. 12. Is that the yellow cover? No.
No.
Is it a black cover?
No.
Oh, 12. Man.
Think of the Joker. Think of the.
Duh. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Now, so I'm like, yes, I know what I'm talking about. Yes. Yeah, I have. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. I have 1 to 10.
Oh, okay.
I don't show it.
So is number 1 like your most valuable book? You said 31 is your second most valuable. Now you have Batman 1. Is that number 1 on the
list? How should I answer that question?
Okay. Well, how about like this? Valuable to you, like in a sense of like, wow.
I would say it's my 3rd most valuable.
Okay. All right.
It's not as valuable as it's worth more than the Tech 31, but it's not my favorite. It's in my top 3 for sure.
Okay. Was that one of the ones that you got back in 2000, before 2000?
No, I got it when I got back in the hobby in 2008.
Oh, okay. Good for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an awesome book.
So for sure, it was expensive, but for sure, it is a lot cheaper than it is now.
Oh, yeah.
I have had multiple offers for a lot of money, twice what I paid for, and I'm like, not a chance. Not a chance. Okay, good luck bidding on Heritage, but you're not getting my copy.
I mean, just like coverless copies of that. Just pages alone, like they'll sell a CGC. Oh, we got the second page. Go for what, $1,000, $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very hard to get. Very hard to get.
It's but yeah, for me, my favorite run that I have is definitely my Batman 1 to 10. It's well, I have 1 to 11. It has been a goal to get all raw copies, to replace all the slab that I have. Mm-hmm. And so far, I am not close. Well, forget Batman 1. Okay, I'm not going to replace that one. But as far as 2 to 11, I've been trying to get raw copies, like local. Like, to me, 3.0 is fine.
Yeah.
As long as the cover is attached, I'm okay with it. Okay. So that's what I've been looking. Whenever I see a Batman 2 to 10 or 2 to 11 that is in the 3.0 to 4.0 grade range, that is raw from Metropolis, or any other big dealer, I usually make an offer because I want a full set of raw Golden Age Batman 1 to 11.
Now, you raw, I can understand, like you want the cover attached. If it were a CGC, does it matter if the cover is attached, if it's in the case?
No. If somebody, if I can get a Superman 1 cover completely split 1.5 in a CGC case or CBCS case, that's fine with me. But that's why the reason why I want it to be 3.0, because you're not going to see that many books that have a complete detached cover split 3.0.
Right.
In fact, it's impossible to get that kind of grade. But so that's why I prefer to have a complete book that I can flip through without having to deal with putting the page, the cover to the side, and all that stuff. So
yeah.
But that's the only reason. And for the most part, Batman 2 to 11 in the 3 to 4 grade range is not expensive. it's hard to find,
Right.
but it's not expensive. You're talking about books that are at best maybe $1,000.
Right. If
You
that.
know,
Maybe,
it's
you know.
not. I mean, it's not cheap. Okay, I'm not talking like, oh, it's only $1,000. but but at the
Well,
same
no.
time, you know, when people are throwing $2,000 for Harlequin first appearances, I'm like, I would rather buy a Batman 3 in a 4.0 range for $800.
Yeah. I mean, not to get off subject, but I don't understand. I mean, I have a Batman Adventures. I don't have it, you know, a 9.9 range, but I just don't understand like all the Harley Quinn fascination.
No, I mean, she's cute, she's funny, but you know, unlike I, as much as I don't care for Deadpool,
Right.
I understand that he can carry himself in any movie or anything because he's interesting enough and he's powerful enough and he can do a lot of things that he can be his own title or own movie. But when
Right.
you're talking about Harlequin, can Harlequin even do a movie by herself?
Yeah. I don't.
I to me, I'm just like I don't know. Like I said, I don't hate Harlequin, but at the same time, I don't understand the extreme fascination of the current fan. I understand more on Deadpool.
Right.
I don't care for Deadpool, but when people tell me that I love Deadpool and all that stuff, I'm like, I understand. I understand. You know, I mean, it might not be for me, but I'm okay with people loving him, and the movie is gonna be huge.
Yes. Yes, it is.
That movie is going to blow up. I mean, I have heard so many good reviews. That
I was watching a little bit of the link that you sent with your last Wednesday chat.
You like that?
Yes, yes. Thank you for including that. But I can definitely, with some of the things that they were saying in that, I could definitely see Deadpool spawning like his own set of films, or
yeah,
that really
they could spin out an X-Force movie, you know,
yes.
with him and Cable, you know, and well, when I was in Boston, I lived in Boston for many years, and my close group of friends, I used to be able to go see premiere movies for free before the whole public thing.
Oh.
Because you know, one of my friends, he worked for, well, he doesn't work. He knows somebody that give out tickets to like movie critics.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, so all those years when I was in Boston, you know, I got to go see like all the Lord of the Rings movie, everything.
Oh, that's...
I can't. It's shameful to say, but I can't recall paying for many movies. But you know, every weekend it's like, Nick, you know, meet us at this theater at 4:00 because we're gonna see this movie and that movie, and just show up. We have tickets for you. So me and my 5 or 6 friends would just go see a free movie 2 weeks, sometimes a month before the public does.
Sweet deal.
Yeah, it was an awesome deal, and they still get, you know, now that I move away, they still do that. So from what they tell me, from the buzz that I get through my email, they tell me that they know that I'm not a big Deadpool fan, but they tell me you will love it. They say that this movie will crush it. Okay, because so I trust my friend taste, because you know I saw hundreds of movies with them, and we sit around and talk about movies all day long. So if they say it's gonna crush it, I think it's gonna crush it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I am excited for the Deadpool fan out there, because I think they will be very pleased. I will go see, maybe not the first weekend.
Okay.
Let the buzz die off, and then I go see the second weekend.
Okay.
So have you seen Star Wars?
Oh yes. I think it was absolutely awesome.
Okay.
My opinion, out of all the movies, I think I liked this new one. It's my second favorite. Out of
behind which one?
The original Star Wars.
Okay.
I know a lot of people like Empire Strikes Back, and I used to like Empire Strikes Back, the first one. I mean, for a very, very long time. But then, I don't know. I started going back to the original, and
yeah. Well, you already heard me talk about the movie, so I'm not as I didn't love the movie as much as you did or other people, but I'm okay with that because, like I said, it's one of those movies that probably more controversial than all the other Star Wars movie. Okay, because I think when you look at Star Wars movie, you have people that love the original three,
Right.
except for the Ewoks, and then you have most general consensus that the three prequels sucks. And then you have this movie where you have a polarized view of both ends. You know, for the most part, if you watch enough reviews on YouTube, you see, you know, there's a lot of people that love it and a lot of people that hate it. So it's one of those things where, you know, for me, it was okay. I seen it twice.
Okay.
So I like it enough to see it twice. But that's about it for me.
Well, what was it though that, you know, doesn't really make it really, really good for you as the originals? Because I grew up on the originals too, and like the consensus, I did not like the prequels, and I just feel with this new one, I think a lot of the original fans that were waiting for Episode 1 to come out were like, "Oh wow, a new Star Wars," and when it came out, and they were like, What was this? What is this? I think this was the movie that, or something similar, that they were waiting for. That they had to wait an extra 12 years or whatever.
Yeah, you know,
whatever.
I could hear a little feedback on your channel, so you have to turn off the volume.
Oh, is that a little better?
Yeah. Well, oh, actually, I can still hear you. Can you hear it? Can you hear the echo?
Yes, I do.
You might have more than one window open. I can hear myself laughing. But if it doesn't bother you, then it's okay.
Okay.
Well, here's my answer on your question. I'm okay that the storyline was not original. Okay, that's not my problem. My problem is in the execution of some of the characters. You know, I actually made a video that I deleted on things that I would change to make the movie better.
Okay.
But since I deleted it, I can tell you what I think was wrong. I say the biggest problem I had was, well, let's go chronologically, okay? Well, the whole thing that how Finn turned on his that didn't make sense to me. I wish there was more to like how he changed his mind. Like maybe during the fight he was sparing some people, and then the other soldiers killed innocent children or something. There had to be something more for him to be like, this is crazy. So that was kind of weak. Okay. And then once BB-8 got to the planet, I didn't like that Rey was able to understand him.
Oh yeah.
I would have preferred that Rey you know, had no idea what he was talking about, but she can walk away and then he just tag along. She said, whatever, if you want to tag along like a drop, be fine. But I'd rather have that and have her completely, fully be able to understand all that droid talk.
Right, okay.
And then the Millennium Falcon. I would have preferred the current owner of the Millennium Falcon to run into that ship to try to escape the trooper. And then Finn and Rey and BB-8 tag along.
Okay.
Because her whole ability to fly the ship blew my mind. It was one of the ways I'm just like, how the hell you fly this ship so well? But you know, to me,
it was almost like they were forcing it.
If she escaped with the Millennium Falcon and hit that guy,
yes,
she can man the guns with Finn. And then when they got into space and hooked up with Harrison Ford, then the owner of the Millennium Falcon can be killed by those monster tentacle things.
Yes.
And that's how Harrison Ford reacquired the ship. Okay, so but I can go on like every single. To me, I'm okay with the non-original story. Just that there was so many little things that I'm just like, I would have changed just those little things to make it more logical.
Yeah, the Millennium. Yeah, I agree with you. The Millennium Falcon part was a little, for me too. I mean, you know, when I saw the scene and they were in the Millennium Falcon, I was like, but I just sort of like ignored it. But yeah, I could see exactly what you're saying. Yeah, that was definitely the logic of it, the lack of logic rather, was kind of a weak part of the story.
Yeah, there was a lot of logic.
Yeah, I mean,
other people is having the same echo issues. Can you see if you can close out your browser?
Sure. Let's see here. Okay. Is that any better? You still hear an echo?
Usually. Well, the echo is on my end. It's weird.
So should I close out and then join again? Would that help?
Let me see. It's definitely not. I don't know how to fix it. Because I'm taking that you don't hear the echo.
I hear it. I hear it coming from you. Yeah, I hear it. I do hear the echo. Let's see here. What can I possibly?
Do you have more than one browser open?
No, just have this.
Let's
see.
Does anybody in the chat room have any suggestions?
My turn here. Looking at some options here. Q&A, showcase, control room. This one, okay.
Last week I had the same issues, and it was the person on your end that have multiple browser open with the playback. So basically, you're watching, you're hearing me talking. There's another. Because I checked all my browser and I only had one open.
Right. Yeah. This is the only thing I have open. Just me talking with you. Nothing else is open. Let me just double check. Yeah, Safari. That's all I have open right now. Should I leave the chat?
Can you log out and log back in?
Let me try. Let me try that. I'll log back in through the email you sent me.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'll be right back. Let me just try that.
Okay. For now, let's see. Yeah, it's not on my end because as soon as Anthony logged out, I don't hear that echo anymore. It was driving me crazy. Jorge, how you doing, my friend? The Gaucho Twix Show. Hello there. I don't think I have ever seen you before.
Okay. Is that better?
Well, let me see. Aha. It's gone.
Okay. Okay. So
thank goodness.
Close out. This is great.
Real quick, I have a question here from Ron Chang on comic book. How do I spot staple replacement? Ooh, tough one.
Yeah,
First off, I have seen this. I have had this multiple times. Okay, so first, a lot of time when a staple is replaced, it is because it is rusty.
Right, right.
And if it is rusty, it left residue on the paper, whether it's the cover or the centerfold, like a little reddish rust. So if you have a very shiny metal metal-free staple, but the area there's water damage and rust stain, then it is replaced for certain.
Right.
Okay. Also, if you look at the staple, how it's closed, a lot of time on a good book that is tight, as far as like the book has not been read that much and the staple is still very tight, there's indentation where the staple is, where the centerfold is.
Right.
If the staple now does not match the indentation, then it is a guarantee it has been replaced. Okay, it must match the indentation, because now, if I'm not saying that every staple left indentation, if it does not left indentation, then there's no way to tell, unless the staple was so poorly replaced that it looked wonky. But for the most part, it's for me, the 3 or 4 times that I saw staple replacement, I was able to spot it fairly quickly because it was so obvious. Because like I said, I saw rust stain, water damage, and then the staple was clean. How the heck, I mean, I bought a book from Heritage Raw that had this problem, and I took a bunch of pictures and I emailed to them, say, look at this crap, I'm returning this shit.
And they do anything about it for you?
Yeah, they Heritage is very good at taking a refund if you prove. I have done this a few times with Heritage where they miss staple replacement, they miss color touch, they miss restoration. I'm pretty good at detecting them. So when I caught them, because I stopped buying raw books from them because after a while I'm just like, it's not worth the hassle. But I have caught a couple times where they miss restoration on color touch, staple replacement, glue, you name it, all kind of stuff. So I've been there and done that with Heritage. It's just a matter of finding the restoration, take a couple pictures of them, explain what you found, email to them. They will send me an envelope, like a return envelope, and then I just mail it back on their coins, so it doesn't cost me anything to return the books. So yes, it has been done.
They seem very professional.
They're very nice. Like I said, it's just that I used to be able to buy stuff from Heritage without paying sales tax for a long time. Heritage does not charge sales tax to Florida residents. They changed that last year.
Oh.
So it definitely curtailed me from buying anything from them anymore, because that's an extra 7%.
Tacked on to the buyer's premium that you have to pay.
So I'm just like, so when I look at those kind of things, I'm just like, it's not worth the hassle to buy from them anymore because it's too expensive.
I mean, I prefer. What were you gonna say? Comic Connect?
Well, Comic Link does not charge me sales tax.
Okay.
Comic Connect.
They're in conjunction with Metropolis Comic.
Yeah, I think they do charge me sales tax.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the best comic book grader? CGC versus CBCS versus PGX?
Oh boy.
You want a blunt answer? None of them. I am the best grader for myself.
Thing is, in Florida, you should probably work with them.
Well, I have interviewed with them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I turned down the job.
Wow.
No, actually, I didn't turn down the job. I interviewed with them, but it was not, I have my own business.
Yeah.
And I'm looking to, this is 5 years ago. And I was looking to transition out of my business. And I thought for a second that, hey, it'd be fun to work for CGC, and I saw there was job opening as a grader. I applied. My resume to get the job interview was, are you a member of the CGC forum?
I am not, no.
Well, Ron Chang said, when is your next chat? My next chat will be next Wednesday. I will have a chat every Wednesday, except for the last week of the month where I will have the chat on Sunday. That's the schedule for the next foreseeable future. The first 3 weeks will be Wednesday night, and then Sunday morning for the last Sunday of the month. So well, the CGC forum is a message board that CGC created.
Okay.
Okay. And on that is, it's a good marketing tool for them, because collectors talk about slabbing, talk about books, all that stuff, but they run the site. And on that site for many years, they are grading contests. And there have been at least one other graders that got the job there after he won the contest. Okay. So I participate in those contests every year.
Okay.
And I finished, I never won, but I finished in the top 2 of the contests in 2 years.
Oh.
I finished like 3rd and 2nd, something like that. I can't remember. I just know that I finished very high. For sure, 1 year I was 2nd.
Okay.
So for my resume, I sent them a link to those contests. I said, this is me. This is how I did in the grading contest. And if you think that I have the right skill set to be a grader, give me a call. And they call. CGC is only 15 minutes away from my house.
Oh, okay.
So I drove there, and the interview is basically, they put a stack of books in front of me. And they say, great.
Yeah. I would imagine they would do
show
something.
us how you grade. Tell us what you think the grade is and why. It was kind of unnerving to be able to have to grade books with people watching you. So here I was, like, look at the book at the light, like this, and flip through the books and count the pages and say, oh, it's missing a centerfold, it's missing this and that, and I give the grade. So I went through the whole stack of books, do all the grading, and at the end of the grading, and we talk about the job requirement, all that, and what killed for them and me was that they were looking for a full-time person that are willing to travel to all the conventions.
Oh, okay.
A lot of working overtime, all that stuff, okay? And I told them that because of my son, who is at the time was only 3 years old, 4 years old, and he was still in daycare, that go from like 9 to 2 or something like that. I'm just like, there's no way that I can work 8 to 5.
Right.
There's no way I can travel. There's a lot of like, no, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. No, I can't do this.
So it wasn't, yeah.
So at the end of the day, I'm just like, even if you want, so I told them, even if you like me and want to give me a job, and the most I can do is working 30 hours a week, it would not solve your problem, because you need someone full-time. So it's pointless to hire me unless you only need unless you need a part-time person.
Right.
So I told them, it's not a good match, and thank you for the opportunity. So I didn't even wait for them to say we want to hire you or not. So I kind of just like, eh.
Yeah, you heard it and you're like, this is not really for me.
Yeah, and then after that, I have, I know a lot of the graders there, and they told me they would have hired me. It's just that they agree with me that hiring me would not solve the problem, because if they were needing from someone full time, if not overtime, hiring someone that can only work 30 hours a week is not a solution.
Right. Yeah.
And then when CBCS was forming, I did meet with them also.
And where are they? I mean, are they also in Florida?
They are about an hour drive away.
Okay, so they're not too far from you.
Not too far. And for most people, 1 hour drive is not a big deal, right?
No, I drive an hour to my job. It's just
Yeah.
what you gotta do.
Well, I'm spoiled. I work at home for the past 16 years of my life. So driving is something I don't care to do.
Probably save a lot on gas too, you know?
Exactly. You know, I'd rather put the $100 a month in comic books than gas.
Me too.
You know, and so I drove there twice. And after driving there twice and see that it's at least 1 hour, and if there's an accident, it's more than that, I'm just like, forget that job opportunity. I say that's not worth my hassle. So I avoid that job also. So to get back to Ron Chang question, you know, I know graders at both companies, and they are human. They will make mistakes. They are not consistent. They are consistent, but the one thing that they are also consistent at is consistently not being consistent. And, you know, think about this, you know, grading 200 to 300 books a day is not easy.
No.
And, you know, you can miss stuff, even though they have 3 people. There's 3 graders that look at every book. Okay, so it's not easy to miss, but things happen. Things can happen. Things have happened. So when it comes down to it, what I can tell you is CGC slab go for higher price on the same grade. There's no dispute. Not all the time. On the average, that's what happened. So if you are trying to maximize money, I would go with CGC, because I think if you're looking at, let's say you have a Hulk 181 8.0, I can guarantee you the CGC one, well, guarantee is a horrible way to say it, but I'm confident to say that the CGC copy will go higher than the CBCS, and the CBS will be higher than the PGX. So if you want to save money, pick somebody like PGX. But to me, I'm just like, if you're gonna sell that same book and get hundreds of dollars less than the CGC copy,
then why go to PGX?
Yeah, why? I understand people say, oh, PGX is not bad, they get a bad rep. Regardless, okay, if the ultimate reason is to resell that slab on eBay, why the hell would you choose an option that you will get 10 or 20% less?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I mean,
it's just like, oh, big deal, you save $10 on slapping fees, but then your book sell for $200 less.
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't make any sense, you know. So I know I will get a lot of flack from PGX people about, oh, you know, it is facts. It's not as if I'm saying things that's not true, you know. Anyone that play and buy and sell in the slab market will agree. Yeah. PGX slab will go for lower prices.
Yeah, CGC is, I think right now, definitely the king of the slab market, you know, when it comes to resale. If that is what you were saying, if your goal is to like resell slab books, go with CGC.
Yeah, I mean, it costs more. No one would, you know, it costs more. If you want to speed it up, because CGC is so busy, they are so behind. So, you know, it might cost you $20, $30 more to get things faster.
Fast track, yeah.
But, you know, if you're talking about a book that could be $500 to $1,000 or more, would you rather spend $20, $30 more to get the maximum price, or save $20 and get $200 less?
Yeah.
So to me, I can't say enough about, like I said, I have no benefit from recommending CGC or CBCS or PGX, so it's non-biased here. Okay.
Right.
I have no problem telling the people I know at both companies that I don't use that stuff. Because I'm not a fan of slabbing, period.
Yeah. I mean, I prefer raw books too, but I definitely have a slab collection, and they are mostly CGC. I think I have one PGX and one CBCS.
Okay. King Cobra just joined, and he asked a question. He said, "What books are you displaying behind you?" I can see a BAT 227. What else do you have back there? I see a Batman Golden Age.
There are actually, there's a couple Golden Age Batmans up there. In the beginning of the video, you asked me if I'm currently collecting. Like I said, I'm working on a Batman haul. I completed a Batman haul last month, and I'm planning to have another one done by July because I want to collect for it first. I was able to get the Batman book that I want the most, and it's up on that wall. It's among a Detective 66, a Batman 121, a Batman 232, a Batman 59, a Batman 63, a Batman 227,
yep,
and a World's Finest 3.
Mm.
So that's, in a nutshell, that's the first appearance of Two-Face, Mr. Freeze, Deadshot, Killer Moth, Scarecrow, Ra's al Ghul. Now, the one that I recently acquired, you're gonna have to wait till July to see that one.
Oh, can I get a hint? Can I get a hint?
Sure. It's a Batman villain.
Can I get like the Bronze Age, Golden Age?
Golden Age. It's a sought out, and I asked you. I don't know if you remember, about a month and a half ago, Nick. I asked you, because I trust your opinion on these things. I asked you a question on, are there any places where I could actually find these books? Because they're very hard to find. I found one of them, and that's
the place I recommended.
No, that was a good place. That was a really good place. But no, I wound up finding it to another seller, and we worked out something. And it's a restored book. It's slight restoration, little slight glue on the spine.
Oh, that's not a big deal at all.
No, I was even thinking about having it removed, if possible. If I can't, I love the book no matter what. But it's a big one.
Nice.
Not as big as the ones you got, though. Not as big as the ones you got. It's
yeah. Well, congratulations.
But thank you for asking that question, though. What was it? King Cobra?
Yeah, King Cobra. He was curious to see what's behind you. I was curious too, but I didn't ask the question. I can tell the 227. That's an easy one to spot.
Yeah.
It's nice, and his other question is, hopefully there's no sunlight to damage the book.
No. That's another thing. I think it was in the fall. I asked you another question, Nick, about displaying books, and I took your advice. There's only one window in this room, and the sunlight comes in this way, not anywhere near the books. And there's a shielding to protect the books anyway, just in case the sunlight cracks. There are no cracks. It's all. Okay. And I change the display every month and a half.
Yep, that's the way to do it. That's how I rotate my arts back here.
Yeah.
I rotate my arts in the wall every 3 months.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of original art, so it's not a big deal. I mean, I don't have enough space or frame to frame all of them, so every 3 months, I took one down, replaced it with a different pictures. So it's nice, but like I said, that way it keeps them from being faded or damaged or whatever. It's there's I also keep all the windows in my room closed.
Yeah, my window is always closed. The blinds are always closed. That's just the way it is.
Now, are you gonna be bidding on anything at this auction?
I don't think so. I'm still looking for a couple of books, but I don't think I'll be bidding on. Definitely won't be bidding on any of the ones you showed me tonight.
check out the cover. That's also original art of. Look at this.
Oh wow.
Yeah, John Byrne, Wolverine. Yeah.
Wow, that is awesome. I'll tell you though, when I was at the New York Comic Con, I happened to see some original art by Jack Kirby.
Ooh.
And I thought that was, because you see on the sideline he's scribbling things and all that stuff, little notes, and I was like, wow, this is Jack Kirby. And that one piece, I don't remember what book it was from. I think it was a Fantastic Four. That one piece was going for, I think, 300,000. 300,000. I was like, whoa, God. But I think Kirby is definitely highly sought out for original art collectors.
If you're looking for Hulk,
talk about rare books.
7.5 and 7.0.
That's gonna run you tens of thousands. Tens of thousands.
I'm not sure what the price will be, but if I had to guess, probably 30,000.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah. It's scary. There's a kind of number that I can't even imagine spending money on. I'm like, $30,000 for comic books? Yikes.
That Incredible Hulk, though, it's pretty scarce, right? The Incredible Hulk 1, is that the reason why that one goes unusually higher than some of the others?
You mean the Hulk book?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a tough book to find in high grades. It's rarer than Amazing Fantasy 15. There are much lower grades in general. To find a 7.5 is not easy.
Right, yeah.
Or even a 7.0, just because of the darker color cover.
Yeah.
And for a long time, the Hulk was not highly sought after compared to Spider-Man. So it was not as safe, it's just less copy. If you look at the CGC census, there are much less Hulk 1 than Amazing Fantasy 15. King Cobra say, yes, King Cobra. If you look at I provide the link to Anthony's YouTube channel. So if you want to sub to him, he's in the link to the live chat.
Oh, thank you.
So you can sub to him. I try to do that to everyone that appear on my chat.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But yeah, so this book have a lot of eye candy. I look at it every day since I got it, and nothing here I can afford.
You and me both. You and me both. But I know I saw your video with your top 10 list for 2016.
Yeah.
And I also have I created a top 25 list because about probably 6 of them I'm probably not going to wind up getting. But looking at that cover, I would like to get a Daredevil #1 somewhere down the line.
And that's Daredevil 1 for the most part is very affordable.
Yeah,
it's compared to other,
like Journey into Mystery 83 or
yeah, you compared to Tales Suspense 39, Journey of Mystery 83, it is fairly inexpensive, and even Strange Tale 110 is
that's
crazy.
Another one on my top 25.
Yeah, it's crazy as that book has jumped. Strange Tales 110 is still so cheap compared to everything else. Now if Doctor Strange blow up, that book had room. It has jumped significantly, but compared to a year ago, the book was like nothing. Okay. 2 years ago, you can get a Strange Tale 110 5.0 for under $1,000. Now it's like
it's definitely over. Yeah,
maybe, which is still very cheap.
Yeah.
Strange Tale 110 is not an easy book to find, especially in the 6.0 or higher. Many copies are in a 2.5, 3.5 range, but go on eBay and see if you can find a 6.5 to 7.0. It's very few.
It's definitely more difficult than the 3.5.
So for that book, for a 6.5 or 6.0 to be under 4,000, that's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Compared to Tale of Suspense. Sure, can Doctor Strange be a huge hit? If it's a huge hit, which I don't know.
Yeah. I was going to ask you that because I know the Doctor Strange movie. I'll definitely go see it. It seems like it's going to be interesting, but I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
I know you like Ant-Man. I know you like Ant-Man. I want to still see that. I want to see
yeah,
it.
I like Ant-Man. Ant-Man end up making more money than Captain America and Thor. You know? So whoever it is, I think that was a bomb. That's wrong.
Oh yeah.
It brought in more money than Captain America, the first movie, and the first Thor movie. Sure, it was not a big success like Guardian of the Galaxy, but for how much money they spent on it compared to Iron Man 1 and compared to Captain America 1 and Thor 1, it did better. It cost less to make and make more money. So it was a huge win for Marvel as far as Ant-Man's concerned. King Cobra asked, it seemed Neil Adams' cover continued to rise. What's your take on that? For some, I mean, I think if you look at Neil Adams' book, right? Sure, you're talking about, the iconic one like Batman 251, 227, even like Batman Detective 400. But if you go outside of Batman and Detective, most Neil Adams stuff are cheap.
Yeah, like the X-Men stuff, like the X-Men's, like the Sauron.
I mean, it's not expensive, but if you go into like say Superman, if you look at the Superman books, Action Comics, Strange Adventures, even Green Lantern, they are cheap. Outside of Green Lantern 76, most of Neil Adams stuff are like dead money. They're not. They like Brave and the Bold. Those books are not hot. I mean, I buy them, but I don't think they are continue to rise in price at all. I would say that I don't think outside of Batman, Detective, the majority of the Neil Adams book that I've looked at, especially like Actions, Superman, Brave and the Bold, a lot of those titles are kind of like, bah. It's just I buy them because I want to have as many Neil Adams covers as possible, but at the same time, I don't think they are a good investment.
Have you ever met you met Neil Adams, right?
No, I have not.
I was fortunate enough to meet him a couple months ago. Very nice guy, friendly.
Was it at a con?
No, he was doing a signing at a local comic book store up here in Jersey. And I took the advantage to go see him. But he did say something, because he said he wasn't a collector. Yeah. And he said he wouldn't spend $300 on a book if you put a gun to his head. It's funny he said that because a lot of his Batman books are 300 and above.
Yeah, Neil Adams is a strange, like I said, I love Neil Adams' art. No question about it. But when it comes down to his personality, and everything else, I'm not sure I am in agreement with many things that he do or say.
Right.
Neil Adams is one of those guys that for years now, for as long as I can remember, he'll be the first one to tell you, I don't have any love for any characters. My favorite character is the one that they pay me to draw.
People, similar things like that, yeah.
People may love Batman. I couldn't care less. You pay me to draw Batman, I draw Batman. You draw me to draw. You pay me to draw Action One. But he says a lot of things like that over the years in many circumstances. So, unlike many other creators that have a deeper passion for the hobby, Neil has never. It's always about how much money you're gonna pay me. So it's funny how some people get annoyed that he charged $20 or $30 for signature. Like Neil has always been about making money as far as the hobby is concerned. So it shouldn't be a surprise. Okay, ultimately that's my view on him. It's just like either you accept that he's more about the money than the hobby, than collecting and all that stuff. Then you'll be okay with him. But if you think that he's gonna be like go on a fanboy nerd out chat about comic books and collection with you, that's not gonna happen.
I got that impression from him. I mean, when he was there. I mean, he talked a little bit. I mean, I liked him, but a lot of what you just said, you could see between. You could see that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's good. You know, the hobby is better to have somebody like Neil who, you know, kind of fight for them, more so fight for himself. You know, I mean, like, you know, Neil will be the first one to probably say that, you know, sure, I help fight for the authors to get the original art to be returned to us and all that stuff, creative right, all that stuff. That's why I do what I do. That's why I, you know, have my own company, this and that. But ultimately, it's always about the money for himself first.
Yeah, Neil takes care of Neil first.
Yeah, Neil take care of Neil first. Neil has a big head, you know. I mean, he has an ego about the size of the planet that he likes to talk about.
Sometimes I didn't see it when I was there, but I heard sometimes he talks in the third person. Or I've read somewhere that sometimes he'll start talking about my friend Brian. He's an illustrator. He drew this book with Mike Oeming called Blood River about 10 years ago. Anyway, he was doing a signing for Blood River, and Neil was there at Midtown Comics in New York. And if you're an artist or a writer through Midtown, they'll give you a discount. Neil went up to the guy or the owner or whatever at Midtown and says, "Does Neil Adams get a discount?" And I've heard through internet that he sometimes does speak in the third person. Which I found.
Well, Neil has some odd belief and odd ways. I mean, one of the things that he was really odd about for a long time is his expanding Earth theory.
Yes, I heard about that.
It's bizarre. I have seen some videos. I have heard people talk about it. I'm just like, wow, that's far out stuff. But you know, like I said, it's okay. Those kind of things doesn't bother me. One reason why I kind of kept Neil Adams away from, you know, of meeting him is that I like Neil. I love Neil work, but I already know about the way he think about the hobby and the industry, and I'd rather not deal with that. You know, I'd rather just keep him in my little world where I enjoy his art. That's it. I don't need to know him as a person. Don't need to you don't
even want the reality of it to like sort of like sour.
Exactly. I have had bad experiences with creators where it soured my love for them. So after having gone through that already, I'm like, you know, because of that, I want to keep Neil at a distance and not bother meeting him so that it might sour my view of him.
Yeah. No,
you know, like I said, I have always been a fan of Neil from day one. So, and I'm fine not meet the person. I have a question here from Water Rock. Hey Nick, been watching your video and don't see spine roll or curl mentioned anywhere. Can you talk a little bit about different spine roll or curling issues? You know, spine roll. I have spine roll books.
So what?
You know, I mean, spine roll happen basically for the most part when you keep book flat and stack them. Over the years, it happens, and spine roll is not hurt the grade of the books that much, especially mid grades or lower. Okay, once you get into the 8.5 or higher, that's when spine roll will prevent the book from being in that grade range. So if you have a book that is really nice, sharp corners and edges, but have a slight spine roll, and you want to sell it at maximum value, my recommendation is to get the book press. Okay, to remove the spine roll so that you can get into the 9.0 upper range. Otherwise, you're not going to get a book in that range with a slight spine roll. I have had some spine roll that's like really bad, mostly on my Golden Age books, where the spine rolls are half an inch, really bad. But I'm fine with that. You know, I don't need to press those books. I kind of like my Golden Age book to be in that kind of condition, just to show how much love they have been receiving.
It's always good to have a well-loved book in your collection.
Yeah. King Cobra asks, what do you think about people paying for signatures? I have paid for signatures twice. Once by John Romita and one by Stan Lee. I'm kind of glad I did with John Romita because he doesn't sign anymore. He's retired from the circuit. So if you want a John Romita Senior signature, you're gonna have to buy it off eBay but he's not signing anymore. But other than that, I'm not the kind of person that care to have signatures, to be honest. Outside of like Stan Lee, hey, I have a Jack Kirby signature thing, and that's cool.
Oh wow!
I have a book that was signed by Jack Kirby, and then I went and get Stan Lee to sign that. So I have a book that has both Stan Lee and Jack Kirby's signature on it.
Stan Lee didn't scribble out Jack Kirby, did he? But, what's this?
I actually have a couple book with Jack Kirby signature on it.
That's great.
In the old days, Jack and Stan and everybody was signing things for free. Gil Kane, you name it. I mean, it's only in the last 15 years that the whole CGC business had turned into a money-making machine for creators. Prior to that, there's no way anyone would charge for anything. But the moment that CGC created the yellow label, where people can make more money slapping them to sell the signature, that's, I think, is a moment where creators, B-listers, C-listers, people that are like not even remotely important, are like, I want to charge $10 and $15 because you're making money on my signature. So that's the beginning of the end, as I call it. To me, a lot of people love them. That's why they're so popular. Okay, so I am in the minority that I don't care for signatures. I have, like I said, I have 2 books with signatures. That's it. But outside of that, I mean, I have a couple books that have some really rare signature, like Barry Windsor Smith. He doesn't sign. He doesn't sign at all. I have books that have John Byrne signature. So that's, if you don't remember, on my very first convention back in 1984, I saw John Byrne and had him sign one of the book, an X-Men book. So yes, I got some pretty rare signature. But for me, it's kind of neat to have those things. But as far as paying for signatures today to get the yellow label, that's not the world that I play in.
Right.
I just see it's 8:17, so I need to run shortly. In about 10 minutes. So let's see. Ron Chang have a bunch of questions here. Who do you watch for comic book market pricing news? The one I see is Google Plus chat rooms. To be honest, I don't stay in touch with comic book news. How about you, Anthony?
I don't either. I mean, unfortunately, I'm not the person to answer this question.
One of the sites that I know is extremely popular is called Comic Book Movies, something like that, .com. It's like a site, a very popular website that talk about movies, rumors, news, casting. I think it's called comicbookmovies.com, something like that. I'm sure if you Google it, you can find it. But to me, that's one of the best sites because I think that's a site where a lot of other chat room link to. They get the scoop first before other places get them and run with them. On CGC forums, where are the buying and selling sites? I cannot seem to find them. I can send you the link to them because if you join the CGC forum, the message board, there's a marketplace area, okay, that break down to golden age, silver age, bronze age.
Oh, well, that's something I need to get into too.
Yeah, moderns, stuff like that. It's the cheapest place for buying most of the time because it's a gentleman understanding that you're not paying for an eBay fees. So let's say if you're selling a book for $2,000 on eBay, you gotta pay eBay 10%, right?
And then you got to pay PayPal too.
Yeah, and then if you sell it on Comic Link, you gotta pay 10%, right? But if you sell it on the CGC forum, it's free.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone that's trying to sell a book for the same price on eBay and on the site will likely get no taker because they know that you are pocketing the extra 10% yourself. You're being greedy. When I sell on the CGC forum, I make it a win-win. I try to make it a win-win scenario where I list the book 5% less than what I would sell on eBay, so that I take half the savings and they get half the savings. I try to make it a win-win that way. Okay, so that's how I approach selling on the CGC forum is, and sometimes I even sell 10% below eBay price just to get the book sell fast. But that's why for the past few months there was multiple copies of Walking Dead #1. Do you want to know? If you go on eBay, Walking Dead 1 9.8 was selling for around 2,000.
Mm-hmm.
There was 2 copies that was sold in the forum for $1,850.
Yeah, I definitely need to go on this marketplace. I mean, I'm unfamiliar with it myself, especially if I'm trying to get some of those Batmans and other books. It'd probably be the best place for me to go.
For sure. And then part of the forum is a want to buy area.
Want to buy.
So if you're looking for certain books, you can post, I'm looking for this book. I'm willing to pay this price.
Uh-huh.
And people that have that book that's willing to sell will contact you.
I definitely got to look into that.
I have sold some books that way. I have buy some books that way. But I can't say enough about how much I think the CGC forum is one of the best places to buy and sell, even if you don't collect slabs. There are plenty of very good graders there, good sellers there that will sell raw books, and they will take the return, just like, even better than eBay. On eBay, some sellers will refuse to take returns, but just about every sellers on the CGC forum are vetted, been around for a long time. I sold there for many years. I sold thousands of books there. Okay, so I know I have a bunch of people that love to buy stuff from me because they trust my grading.
Mm-hmm.
They love my cheap prices, and I have sold there a lot. In fact, last year I sold something like 600 books there.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so I can say that I can vouch that that's a very good place to sell, and a very good place to buy to buy and sell, because if as a seller, you don't have to deal with the crazy people on eBay. On eBay, every time I sell something, part of me is saying, is this a crazy buyer that's going to return the books, claim damage, or something crazy? Okay, I have never had that happen on a CGC forum. Never. I have no fear in shipping out anything there. So I highly recommend. I've been saying this for a long time. I recommend many people, like, even if you don't collect slabs,
Mm-hmm.
the CGC forum is one of the best places to learn about comic book news, to talk about comic books, to buy, to sell. It's a good place. I mean, it's not YouTube, but at the same time, it's I trust that place more than eBay.
Yeah, it sounds like it's really good. I mean, I should start looking into that when I'm collecting my books.
Absolutely do it. And if you need, Ron and Anthony, if you need me to send you the link to it, I think the key thing about that place is I think you have to register.
Okay. So
because of course they want you to use CGC service, right?
Right.
So but I think for me, it's free for the most part. You know, there's certain things there that you might have to pay to gain access to.
Okay.
But for me, buying and selling is free. It doesn't cost me anything. I can post whatever I want. I've been a member of that site since the day I returned to the hobby in 2008.
Okay.
So I've been there for a long time.
Because it's hard to find good books. You know, it really is. Like, especially if you go looking on eBay, for the reasons that you said. You know, it's. Had I known about this earlier, I might have been able to get more books there instead of.
Yeah, but for sure, sign up to the CCC forum because I think you will find it to be extremely helpful. Okay, there's like I said, there's a lot of collectors there, a lot of hardcore collectors with a lot of books. So many things that are hard to find can be found there, as long as you're willing to pay the price. Let's see. I have issues as a question. This will be the last question before I run. What's your next comic on your list to buy this year? Oh, Nelly. I have issues. You have questions. How about this book? Just keep
not in my foreseeable future.
How to get that? On my list of top 10, I say I have been looking at Iron Man 1 a few times. The past few weeks, I have been checking out a few copies here and there. Miss out on a couple copies here and there because either I underbid or I forgot about it.
That's happened to me too.
You know, like I said, you know, I love the hobby, but it does not take over my life. I'm not the kind of person that sit there on the computer and trying to follow the bidding and wait till the last minute to snipe or something like that. I you know, if I forgot about it, I forgot about it. So yes, Iron Man 1 is a book that I have been actively searching the past 2 weeks. The book that I'm least likely to fulfill in my top 10 would be X-Men 1.
Yeah, I remember you were talking about that in that top 10 video.
Yeah, not because it is a rare book, but I'm looking for a raw copy. And I know that there are a few dealers out there that have access to raw books. They don't slap a lot of books. They have good grading. I trust the grading. I trust the restoration check. So I will buy from them raw. So there are a few dealers out there that I will buy raw keys, but they rarely have X-Men 1. So I will just have to keep waiting and see. But so the odds of me getting an X-Men 1 is slim. There's a high chance of me getting an Iron Man 1.
Would you say X-Men #1 is slim, just period, or just sooner than later?
Slim period.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking for a copy that's like between 5.0 and 7.0.
Okay.
Same thing with my Iron Man 1. You know, I'm looking for something that between 5 and 7. I have a copy already, a high grade copy that I want to sell.
Okay.
It is a slab. I had an Iron Man 1 that was like a VG, and I sold it. I wish I kept it because I'd rather have the raw copy to enjoy. But I sold it because I had the slab. But then again, now at this point of my collecting cycle, I'm just like, I don't want to have a 9.2 or 9.4 slab sitting around. I can sell that for good money and buy a 5.0 for a third the price.
You buy other books with the leftover money.
Oh yeah, I mean a 9.2 Iron Man 1 might go for $1,400. You know, I can sell that book, buy a 5.0 ish for like $400. Put $1,000 away in my pocket. So,
yeah.
So that's what my plan is. You know, that's why I want to get the Iron Man 1 the most, because I have a slab that I can easily sell for good money. So it's just a matter of finding the right raw book. Well, anyhow, it's almost 8:30. It's been a long, fun chat.
Yes, yes, it was very enjoyable. I appreciate, you know, you letting me chat with you this Wednesday. It was good chatting with you again.
Well, anytime. Like I said, you know, I don't have any strict guideline on who can chat and who can't. Anybody that want to chat, just hit up, just contact me, and just like Anthony did. Anthony asked me last week, and boom, he's here.
That's right.
I only the only thing is, you know, I prefer to keep my chat to no more than 3 people. You know, because whenever I watch a chat with like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I'm like, how do you get a word in?
You don't.
You know, I'm like, I don't have time to watch a chat that run for 3 hours because 10 people need to get their words in, you know, and when I watch them,
right.
I have watched many chat that have, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but it's tough. It's tough to hear everyone's opinion on every question, on every topic. So I prefer to have 2 or 3. 2 is great, you know, but I don't mind 3 either. So for those that want to get involved in the chat in the future, just contact me, you know, and just like Anthony here. If you want to do it next week, we do it again. Well, Anthony, thank you for joining.
Oh, thanks for chatting with me, Nick. I really appreciate it. It's been a good.
And if you need the link to CGC Forum, Ron Chang, you know you have my email address. So does Anthony. So shoot me the email, and I will shoot you back the email where you should go to subscribe and become a member of the CGC Forum.
I will, definitely, and I appreciate that.
Okay.
All right.
Later. Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Night.